join me again on my tedious quest in the running in process of my Tiger 1200. The last video we managed to get over the 100-mile marker, which allowed me then to go from 3,500 RPM up to 5. Obviously, since being allowed by Triumph to go up to 5,000 RPM, the bike feels a lot more usable. Just pulling away from junctions, roundabouts, etc. A little bit more powerful overtaking. So yeah, the bike certainly feels more usable, having that few extra RPM. So we're at 250, 251. Once I get to 300, I can then go up to 6,000 RPM, and that is from 300 to 600 miles. So not as big a jump as before, but an extra 1,000 RPM. And again, as I mentioned in the previous video, would Triumph know? I don't know. Should you run it in? Do you need to run it in? Well, it's the first 1,000 miles of the bike's life. I don't think it's that much to ask. 1,000 miles, especially once you start getting 5, 6, 7,000 RPM, it's not going to be as horrible as the first 100 miles at 3,500 RPM. So yeah, certainly the 152 miles I've done now at 5,000 RPM, it hasn't been that much of a chore. So anyway, yeah, 48 miles left before I can scream it up to 6,000 RPM. That'll be fun.
Intercom failed. Try again later.
The intercom. So I'm just riding around aimlessly with nowhere in particular to go. Just trying to get the miles in. So 254 miles, and compared to my old Explorer, this bike is a dream. It is just comfortable, it is smooth, it's the suspension for me is working fantastic. I've kept it just in the road mode. I don't know if we can see that. Kept it in the road mode, and go back. The suspension is just sort of in the normal position in a road mode. And for me, for my riding, that is just, it just feels fantastic. Again, compared to the old Explorer, where I do think there was quite a lot of guesswork, winding your preload up, trying to get it right. The little screwdriver at the bottom for your rebound. Yeah, more than happy just letting the bike sort itself out. I have tried it in sport mode, and there we go, it's changed into sport mode, and again you can see the suspension is stiffened up, and you can certainly feel it over these fantastic British roads that we have. But I don't like it. Not for these old bones. I much prefer it a little softer. So compared to the old Explorer, just absolutely loving the semi-active suspension. The bike feels just more stable and secure. Even going into corners, you can just feel it working, and I'm just having more fun on this bike, even limited to 5,000 RPM. In 6th gear, as you can see there, 61-ish miles an hour. 61, 62, still sort of legal speeds. We're barely touching 4,000 RPM. So at 5,000 in top gear, quite easily achieve motorway speeds, 70 mile an hour, 72. And I have been informed that in top gear, 6th gear, at 5,000 RPM, the bike will do somewhere in the region of 82, 81, 82. So again, as we can see, once we reach 5,000, it starts to change amber again, just as a visual to help you not get carried away, which is incredibly hard not to do. See? Oh, slow down. The screen adjust height, the adjustment of the screen, it's just its max height, 5'11" and a bit, and I don't have any buffeting on my helmet. I could have the visor open, but not today because there's too many flies about, as you can see. So I've decided not to have the visor open so my face doesn't look like a pizza. Oh God. Chippings! I don't like chippings. Yeah, screen adjust height, the adjustment of the screen, it's just in its maximum position. If we pull it down a little bit to there, I'm starting to get a little bit of buffeting, a little bit of wind, a little bit more noise. So I'm just going to leave it for me again anyway. It'll just be left in the maximum height. There's the problem. Flaming horse. So we'll change this back and see where we are with our miles and 262. The reason there's a lot of horses around at the moment because of the Appleby Fair, and there's some more. Be on the lookout for shit. What a fab day it's been today. Chippings and shit. Chippings, shit and flies. I love riding my bike. Another thing, I suppose, just to be mindful of, if it's important, you're still going over RPM, is if you're in 4th gear, 3rd gear, you'll get the idea in a minute, and then I change down to 2nd, then the revs, the RPM is just going to go straight above the 5,000 RPM. I suppose that's just one thing we have to be mindful of. Just have a look at your RPM before you change down as well. 4th gear, 60 mile an hour, it's amber. Now if I was just to downshift for engine braking, it's just going to romp up above the 5,000 RPM. Is it not as important downshifting and going above the RPM if you're not applying any throttle? You're just slowing down, you're not accelerating? I don't know. 30 miles to do. 280 miles. And I need fuel. I have 30. $42 miles left, sorry. 42 miles left. 287. The excitement's gone a little bit because we know the orange indication works. It just changes to the next RPM range. And again, it's only going to give me 1,000 RPM. But it's better than nothing. There we go, 291 miles. Yeah, that certainly doesn't feel as if it's taken as long to do the first 100 miles. And the tyres also, they should be fairly scrubbed in now as well. First 100 miles should have made the tyres okay. Coming up to 3, there's more than enough. 300 miles. 298 miles. Service at 500 miles. Or 1 month. Whichever comes sooner. Just so the dealer gets his money. Yeah, 500 miles first service. And then after that, it's a huge whopping 10,000 miles. So, coming up to 300, and we're coming up to a roundabout as well. We'll turn left, and hopefully we'll get the chance to accelerate a bit. There we go, 300 miles. I can now go up to a screaming 6,000 RPM. 30 mile an hour-ish, third gear. Up to 6,000 RPM now. And it still changes amber, yellow. So I'm sure I can live with that for another 300 miles it is now. 3 to 600. And in the middle of that there'll be a 500 mile service. Traffic lights. Oh. No, don't stop. Jesus crying out loud. Unbelievable. So yeah, from 300 now to 600 miles. Triumph allow me to go up to 6,000 RPM. Come on, lad. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Come on, son. And remember, Luke, don't go past the yellow.